Okay, so we've gotten a couple chapters done today.
Soon we were all gathered around the dusty blackboard back at Mr. Silton's house. He was explaining what was an increasingly complicated plan. And that, ladies and gentlemen, he said, is the plan of the century. Sim explained that Heather and her mum were in Lab 33. He said I should find them, then take them to the gate on the other side of the base. I nodded, even though I must have looked terrified. I'll need to register these two, he continued. Hopefully the guards won't notice I walked in with 3 robots and now only have 2. He wished me luck and reminded me it was Lab 33, but you only need to tell a robot something once.
I mean, I have questions, like, it makes sense why we need to go to Alice, and why we need to go get Mr. Deck, but then what was the point of the Solomon thing? Like, that added nothing to this whole thing. Except some wacky time travel shenanigans, which I guess kind of explains why Horace became a thing in the first place? I don't know. Get that other junk, please. Actually, it might be better to do this. And then jump down. Okay, so this is an alarm override room. layout is gonna get me a bit lost, but it's gonna be fine. Come on, I was doing pretty well there. What the hell? Come on! Sometimes my momentum just wants to stop, and I don't know why, because I'm still... Okay, well, too bad. Oh. I hate these. These are like the worst sections of the game. Because I'm not good at stealth. Well, in my opinion, because I'm terrible at stealth. Come on.
I was confronted by a severe-looking scientist who asked me where I thought I was going. I found his line of questioning interesting. Existential. Almost. I was so stunned I couldn't speak. "Are you okay?" asked Heather. Mum told Dr. Harrell he really shouldn't force a power cycle on you robots. I don't think she recognized me, but eventually I got enough strength up to speak. However, all that came out was, Heather. As for the old lady, I don't know how, but she recognized me as soon as I walked through the door of their living quarters. They both smiled when I told them how everyone else had worked together to create a distraction at the base's main gates. "Well," said the old lady, "we've been looking for an excuse to escape. Heather, grab your things and we'll get going."
Oh, this is gonna be fun. What? Okay. Okay, I gotta learn what I gotta do. Maybe if I just slow down a little bit. So I got plenty of time between, like, every time he doesn't hit me. Come on. Okay. I don't know what's going on anymore. Go over here. It's just giving me pity at this point. And I already lost one. Whatever, I'll take it. Okay, I could do this. Come on. So I'm guessing something like that. Oh, I hate you! God damn it! Seriously? There. Oh, that was so dumb.
A single bored-looking guard stood between us and the exit. All the other soldiers must have been at the main gate, either being entertained or annoyed by Mr. Silton and the others. "How do we get past him then?" whispered Heather as we crept closer. The old lady smiled. "I'll create a distraction and you two run for it," she said. "No, Mum," said Heather. "If we're leaving, you're coming too." But Mr. Logan soon solved our dilemma. As we quietly jogged through the exit, Mr. Silton and the others tore round the corner in the van before screeching to a halt, all the while Mr. Preston shouting and gesturing for us to get in. When things had finally quietened down, I asked Heather what was going on. "It all changed after Dad died," she said, explaining that because the professor didn't want anything to do with me, the old man's financial investors split the company into 12 divisions and began manufacturing all sorts of robots. So the old man, he was actually my creator, my maker. I suppose a more poetic man might have called him my father. Soon, the robots were sold to every country, Heather continued, saying that when a small skirmish in the Middle East turned into a global war, every country started using robotic troops. In literally less than a day, every country's robots realized that the other robots were not the problem, the humans were, and, very logically, deserted, with disastrous consequences. It suddenly all made sense. What the professor had said, all the other robots, and why no one ever wanted to talk about the war when I was around. All of a sudden, Alice shouted for everyone to hold on. We were being followed.
I was gonna end it there, but I don't think I can end it at that
I'd
point.
never really considered the idea of God, but I actually prayed that Heather was okay.
I don't think I can leave it there, so I'm gonna try to solve this real quick, and then see if Heather's alright, and then we'll probably end it.
We'd fallen pretty far out of the van,
so next time
and
I
I
record.
wasn't sure I'd really braced her fall. Heather greeted me with a calm smile. "I thought you'd find me easier than I'd find you, so I thought I'd stay put." I made a small shelter as quick as I could. It was soon pitch black and starting to rain, so Heather had suggested we rest. In the morning, when there would be better light, we could try to find our way home. "I don't think Dad ever imagined this would happen," said Heather with a sad look in her eye. "I mean, he would always talk about how he'd dreamt of a robot when he was a young boy. He and Mum was so happy when you finally turned up. I honestly think he thought robots like you could help the world, not kill millions of people." "Death is really sad," I said. It was an obvious thing to say, but Heather nodded. "When my best friend died," she continued, "I asked Mum why people had to die. She said it was to make room for new babies to be born. I don't know why, but this made me feel both happy and sad at the same time. Mr. Preston practically fell through a bush as he said, "There you are. We've been looking for you all night." He explained that they had lost the soldiers but the van had broken down. Luckily though, it was actually only a short walk away. I must have looked sad when we got back, as the old lady sat down beside me. "What's the matter?" she asked. I told her that Heather had explained the war to me. The old lady sighed. "It's not your fault," before saying how the original idea was for the robots to be raised like children, learning and developing their own consciousness. But when the old man died and I was shut down, my consciousness was taken, hacked, and copied to every other robot, to bypass the growing up stage. Heather explained that every robot had a tiny bit of my memories, of the old man, the house, of everything. So when the war broke out, hundreds of unstable robots kept arriving at their house. "I think it was like some kind of pilgrimage for them," said the old lady. "That's why we created a scrambling signal. It only works within a few hundred miles, but turns any unlicensed or illegal robots close enough into mindless zombies. That's another reason we were surprised to see you." Heather explained how most of the planet had been taken over by robots. She said they were looking for more people, but it wasn't looking good. They had received a radio signal from Japan. There was a few thousand people who survived there. "Lord knows how," said the old lady. "Their robots outnumbered people 50-1 by the time the war broke out." Heather said how she had been writing a virus that would shut any robot down. "I'm not really a great coder," she said. "Mom was trying to work out a way to boost the scrambling signal, but now you're here I've got an idea." The old lady smiled and slowly nodded. "We should be able to clone your personality and broadcast your consciousness to all the other robots." Heather smiled. "We'll make them all nice." "Robot," interrupted Mr. Sultan, "we're nearly done, but we're all starving. See if you can catch us one of them rabbits."